The person that stayed on the same diet for 2 months has already hit that plateau. I was right around 7,000 calories from the time I was 15 and going into the powerlifting meets. And so when I got to 272, I knew that at that point I needed to slow down a bit. That was plenty big enough. I got 12 programs, all for slicing and dicing. That.
How often do you cycle your diet? And is there a period of time you need to stay on a particular diet to allow the body to adapt to what you are feeding it?
Great terminology of what you said. So you kind of understand this. So there's no time that you stay on the same diet for a long period of time because your body adapts within 10 to 14 days. So it always has to slightly change. And so it doesn't matter if you're putting on size or taking off size. The person that stayed on the same diet for 2 months has already hit that plateau, and now the body has to get kick-started again. So my recommendation, and for me, is mine changes every 2 weeks. And that's why the Titan meal plan is perfect, because it's already ahead of you when you put your numbers in. You put down your weight, you put your age down, all those things, and then it goes off what you previously had and what you need to go and what that goal is. So it's a great thing to do. But the way everybody that's reading this, see what he said though? It's great. He understands this. Great questions today. Yeah. My recommendation is every 2 weeks that thing changes. And that's why in the Titan crew, we always do those check-ins. And also when we do hardcore diets, then that changes every week. So you'll see if you're doing things right, your body changes. It changes within 2 weeks. You'll notice, hey, this is working, this isn't working. And those are really good points for you guys to self-coaching yourself. Thanks for the question, man. Hats off again. Man, 3 home runs today.
What workout split do you recommend for weight loss? Just the legs, 5x5, row split.
Well, 5x5, I don't know what that is. Is it 5x5? Yeah, 5x5 is that's always that power bodybuilding. That's a size strength. Upper and lower, push and pull, 2 parts a day. Those are all great ones. My recommendation is always pick one that you're not doing and start with that and make sure you set that up. But you know this. I mean, if you're going to try to slice and dice, I got 12 programs, all for slicing and dicing. And it more matters, well, it doesn't more matter. They both go together, but the nutrition along with the training. And then again, you know this, the training's got to go up at the end of the weeks. Like, let's say you're going to diet for 8 weeks or 12 weeks. And you can answer this for me. We'll be on here for a bit. But if your diet's going to be 12 weeks, obviously that last 4 weeks, you're going to be wanting to make sure that you have room to get even more in. And then relative to the first 4 weeks, you know, you got to build. So the first one right out the door, make sure it's something different than you're doing. That way your body's not used to it. And then you have room to push more. Thanks for the question, man.
My wife has Hashimoto's. It's hard for her to lose weight. You have a plan, the Titan meal plan to help her.
Yeah, we have 4 people with the same Hashimoto. Yeah, we have 4 people in the Titan crew that all have that as well. And they're doing really great on the Titan meal plan, specifically for them and their nutrition. And again, it's the breakdown of asking the right answering through all the questions I ask, what is going on with her and what she can and can't do. And then program wise, again, you guys know this, mostly with this, training to the point where you're getting better, but you're not breaking down the body to such an extreme that you can't recover. Thanks for the question. Yeah. But yeah, I've dealt with that issue with thousands of people through the years, believe it or not. It's a very, even though they say it's not very common, it's a pretty common one in health and fitness, because those issues. Again, it goes back to those issues. All right, next one. Hats off to you. Way to support the wife too, man.
22-year-old, 6 foot, 210, trying to bulk up. Would you track calories at that age? I'm just trying to get as much muscle as possible and not worry too much about fat as the metabolism is crazy. Rich.
Love this kid. Holy cow. Good job. For all you guys in your teens and in your early 20s, this kid's doing the right approach. And the reason why you don't need to worry about the fat is because it's hard to gain muscle. It's really hard. And so those calorie intake is you can do a 1-to-3 ratio. For every 1 pound of muscle you gain, it's okay that you gain 3 pounds of fat. And the reason why is it's hard, really hard to gain muscle. It's simple to get rid of fat. That's why you want those calories in a good place to where you're putting on the weight, you're getting stronger, and you make sure you're stronger. But to answer your question, I was right around 7,000 calories from the time I was 15 and going into the powerlifting meets, winning those and getting ready for teenage nationals at 17. Obviously, before the show, I broke down and lowered the calorie intake to get sliced and walk on stage. But again, to tell you what calories to do, I can't, because I don't know how because here's the one problem. I don't know you. All you're doing is giving me body weight and height. I know a lot of guys that could win the Mr. Olympia at 6 foot, 210 pounds. But I also know a lot of guys that don't work out, don't train, don't do anything at 6'1", 215. So the weight and height doesn't matter to me so much as how much you're training, what your body looks like right now, half the calories you're taking right now. Because there's another thing is, just because you shove the calories in doesn't mean for you specifically that your body's going to utilize those calories. Because you got to remember, not every guy your height and your weight utilizes calories the same. As much as people would like to say they do, they don't. Nowhere in the same ballpark do they. So that's the bad thing about so many people saying, oh, if you're this height, this weight you should do. But you're a 210, is that what it says? Jeffrey? How heavy is he?
210.
Yeah, so make sure you're right around that 300 protein. Or technically, whatever your protein intake you're taking right now, play with that and try to get up to that 300. And then depending on how much carbs you're doing right now and how much you're utilizing, play with that. Again, every 10 days to 14 days, you'll know what to do. Take them up or bring them down. The main thing I want you to do, though, is off your calories. And this is a tough one for you because you're 22. And it was really tough for me. I'm glad I did it the way I did it, which wasn't the smartest way, but it created a mindset. But for you, are you recovering fully? Are you getting stronger week by week? Those are great gauges on if you're taking in the right calories, you're recovering enough. And your calories could be right, technically, even if you're not getting stronger. What could be happening is you're training too hard and too much. And so maybe you got to back off there. So there's so many facets to it. But just listen to your body. Great question. And I'm glad, the biggest point here is I'm glad at 22, this is your time to put on that size. So I always talk about being 275, 272 to be precise, at 15. And I knew that from the age 11 and 12 that I only had a certain amount of time to put that size on. And so when I got to 272, I knew that at that point I needed to slow down a bit. That was plenty big enough. And just fine tune it and keep fine tuning it and fine tuning it. So the calories didn't go up or down dramatically. It was small moves just to make sure that 272 got fine tuned. And that's why I got to be able to carry that body weight throughout my entire life. Great question. Great mindset, kid. Get your butt in the Titan crew. I want to see if we can't create a monster here.